Hey, I'm Steven, and I'm about to go see the new Dragon Ball Super movie. I think it's just called Dragon Ball Super Broly. I'll be back after the credits.
It's about time I got a chance to fight.
So I just got back, and this movie's good. This movie's really good. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I've been a Dragon Ball Z fan since Dragon Ball was first premiering on Toonami. Back, I would come home from school every day, and it'd be on. And then, so I would watch Dragon Ball Z, and I saw little bits before that. Like, I saw some of the Ocean dub, a little bit here, a little bit there, and I liked it fine at that point, but people were only talking a little bit about Dragon Ball Z at that point. When I first really started watching, I remember watching the Garlic Jr. saga being like my first real introduction to Dragon Ball Z, and then came the androids and Cell and everything like that. And then I started to kind of see the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, so then I would see Raditz through Frieza, and then Garlic Jr. repeated, and then saw all the way through Cell. And then I started seeing Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball also started airing on Toonami. Actually, I do think I got a brief glimpse of Dragon Ball a little bit before that. My dad took me to Blockbuster, and I saw Dragon Ball there, and I thought, Dragon Ball Z! That's awesome! Except that it looked older, and sounded a little different, but it was Dragon Ball. So Goku I was getting more and more familiar with. I would see faces like Yamcha and everything like that, and I remember eventually having strange memories of Dragon Ball, thinking, well, that was a weird thing that happened. Maybe I should watch more of it, because Toonami never, at least at the time I was watching, never went through the entirety of Dragon Ball. I had to go find that, and then, as you can see, as you saw out there, I have all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT out there. I do plan on having Super as well, and I'm missing a couple movies. I think I'm missing the TV specials and the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, which brings me to Super. Dragon Ball Z, I think, is a little bit of a difficult anime to get into now. I think because I grew up with it, I've got the perfect nostalgia for it, and it's fun for me, but I could definitely see somebody starting with it, and if they're not attached to these characters already, thinking a lot of stuff takes time to get into. Dragon Ball, on the other hand, is a fun little adventure martial arts anime that I think anybody, if they are in the right mindset, can really get into. It's a good, fun story. It's got some dirty Japanese humor here and there, especially at the beginning. Decent action, fun animation, and good characters. I would highly recommend watching Dragon Ball, and then if you're really into these characters and watching them progress further, Dragon Ball Z is the next step. Then Dragon Ball GT came around, which had interesting ideas, but was overall a failure. But it did have a good ending, and I'll give it that. And it does have good ideas. Then, it had been, I think, 10 years with no Dragon Ball storylines whatsoever, except for, I think, one TV special that was only available in Japan. Then we get word that there's a Dragon Ball Z movie coming out, Battle of Gods, and I found it online and watched the Japanese dub of it, and thought that was great. Like, I really hope they do more. Then I heard an announcement that it's coming to theaters, English dub, and I thought, no way. So I went and saw that movie in theaters, and it was great. Resurrection F was then announced a little after the dub came out on DVD, I think. And I didn't get a chance to see that one in theaters, but when I finally did get around to seeing it, I liked parts of it, but was overall kind of disappointed by it. But what's this? In the distance? Dragon Ball Super is coming. a brand new Dragon Ball series that takes place after Dragon Ball Z. Sadly, the beginning is just Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. But now we get original content. And some of it's hit, some of it's miss, some of it's literally hit. And we get more cool ideas and some more disappointments. The Dragon Ball Z movies introduced a character named Broly, a fan favorite until it really got broken down. The first Broly movie it's okay, it's passable. The character Broly is boring but cool to look at, and fighting these Super Saiyans through this planet, like the city, it's cool. It's visually a very fun movie. Broly's Second Coming comes along. Any trace of the character of Broly that was even in the first one, which was not much, is gone. All he is a bumbling, mad Super Saiyan screaming Kakarot! And it's not very good. It's probably one of my least favorite things Dragon Ball has ever put out. Then we get Bio Broly, which is laughably bad. Broly Second Coming is painfully bad. Bio Broly is laughably bad, but it has some cool things in it, like Hercule Satan is a little bit more of a focus in it. Android 18 gets some cool scenes. Trunks and Goten are a little less annoying in this than some things, but they're a little annoying, and it's still not very good. I'm thinking they're done with Broly. They have to be. But no. This brand new trailer comes out. We don't know it's Broly yet. It's just this Saiyan on a cliff standing in front of Goku. Goku's ready to fight. He's ready. He's not had a fight like this in ages. And this is even after the universe destruction tournament. Things have gone down and more things are coming. Then we wait a few months. No news. We get our first drop. It is Broly. Some of us are thinking, no, not Broly. They've ruined it. Some of us are thinking, wait, this is written by Toriyama. The other ones weren't. The other ones were just cash-ins, he made the design but had nothing to do with the movie other than that. This is written by the man who created Dragon Ball. We're not sure what's going to happen yet, but darn it if it doesn't look like it's at least going to be well animated and fun to watch. More trailers are coming. It just looks better and better and better. And then we finally get into the theater today in January. Japan got it a month ago, back in December. And I had a blast watching this movie from the beginning to the end. Now, the beginning is retelling Broly's origin, retelling Vegeta's origin, retelling Goku's origin. It meshes with Dragon Ball Z, but contradicts a few things that were on the peripheral that we thought were canon, but I guess weren't. Like, the original Bardock special kind of works, but some of it doesn't. But it does work when Frieza in Dragon Ball Z is talking about seeing Goku's father. He didn't know it was Goku's father, but the Saiyan that looked like Goku standing in front of Frieza. The death ball is coming down and Bardock gets lost in it. That's in this. So we see Goku's mother for the first time. We see actual motivation for Broly's father to hate Vegeta, and Broly doesn't just hate Goku because Goku cried next to him. Broly is a puppet, a very powerful puppet for his father to take his revenge, and Frieza catches wind of this and also wants revenge on Vegeta and Goku, and basically aims Broly at them. Goku kind of senses that this is wrong, something's not right, but it doesn't matter. Broly's in a rage, and the fight just breaks out, and it's incredible. The animation is great, the action is great, the characters are great. There's comedy in this movie again. Dragon Ball is bright and alive, and you can see Dragon Ball in there, you can see Dragon Ball Z in there, you can see Super in there. Everything's coming together again. You have some new characters, Chilai, and I can't remember the older character's name, but they're fun to watch and see. I hope they show up more in this. Not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. We finally see the return of true fusion, not Potara fusion. Gogeta's in there. You see Broly and Gogeta fighting, and this is like a fanboy's dream, and it's everywhere. People I'm fanboying all over this right now because it's just so good. I saw this with my friends Isaac and Rachel, and Isaac loved it right along with me. Rachel, who has never really watched Dragon Ball, she's seen pieces here and there, but mostly kind of the abridged series on YouTube. She thought she would be bored by this, but even she was entertained by it. The theater. This is the perfect movie for the situation. Like, most of the time in a movie theater, you want to be quiet, you want to be respectful, you don't want to talk. All around us, people were cheering, people were clapping, people were, yes, like, or like, oh no, kind of thing. And it's so amazing, and I can't recommend this movie enough. It's just so colorful. Frieza is back in this, and I'm so glad Frieza is still a villain. We need more villains to stay villains in Dragon Ball. You figure Yamcha started as a villain, turned over. He wasn't a villain for very long, so you can barely count him. Krillin was a rival, turned over to Goku's side. Tien was the first kind of villain to turn over to Goku's side. Piccolo was the first real villain to be defeated by Goku, and then, again, turns over to Goku's side. Vegeta, the biggest main example of this, turns over to Goku's side. Android 18, Goku's side. Basically, the only ones that haven't are... and Majin Buu as well. Majin Buu, big evil. Kind of misunderstood, I guess, when you factor in, like, the Fat Buu, but Goku's side. Only ones that never did were Frieza, who in the Universal Destruction arc kind of seems like he might turn over, but he's in this universe to stay alive, basically. He's in this tournament to stay alive. Not because he wants to be allied with Goku. They're allies of convenience, not friendship. And Frieza's back in this movie and is just ready for Goku and Vegeta to die. And it's fun to watch. Everything is great. And you see more fan service. You see King Cold in this movie in flashback, because the first half hour of this movie takes place 41 years before Dragon Ball, I think. Well, I guess it's before Super. It probably takes place about 5 years, maybe less. Probably just like a year before Dragon Ball starts. And there's a little bit of contradiction, because Goku, you see him on Earth as a baby when his grandpa finds him. It doesn't matter. Anything I have negative about this movie is nitpicks. I don't know if it's my favorite Dragon Ball movie. I'll have to get back to you when I watch watch this again and have re-seen other ones. My favorite Dragon Ball movie has been Dragon Ball Z World's Strongest for a long time. I just think it's got great animation, it's got great action. It's, for old Dragon Ball Z, that's the epitome. For new Dragon Ball, this might be the epitome. And I don't know what else to say about it, except there's nothing after the credits, so as soon as those credits start rolling, you can just go. Nitpicks are the music is kind of ridiculous in this, but hey, what can you do? There is some little animation things that are kind of weird in this. Whenever they go into 3D, it looks a little off, but still sometimes cool, whereas one or two things do look pretty not great. This, so far, it's still January, but this is my favorite movie I've seen this year. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10, because I just enjoyed it that much, and the theater I was in had a great time too. Now, I can't say I'd recommend this if you aren't a Dragon Ball fan. Rachel enjoyed it, but she went because Isaac and I were going, so it's not like I doubt this swayed her to watch Dragon Ball or anything, but if you were, but I wouldn't recommend a comedy to somebody who only likes dramas, so obviously take this with a grain of salt, but I would give this movie an 8 out of 10, and highly recommend it. If you've seen this movie, let me know what you think. If you want to see this movie, go out and see it. If you don't want to see this movie, let me know why. Is it because you don't like Dragon Ball? Is it because you don't want to go to theater to see an anime movie? Especially like a true anime, not like a Miyazaki film. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and to subscribe. And I will catch you at the movies.